Hi ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Green, and this is another in my series of lessons on AP Statistics. Where are we at? Well, we're finished with Unit 6. We're looking at Unit 7, Lesson number 3, and we're going to be doing the studies on Lesson number 3, which is dealing with hypothesis and the null hypothesis. So, where are we at? Hypothesis testing. What you're going to find out in this lesson is that there's actually two ways of doing this. One of them is you can create a range of values, and looking at that range of values, it kind of gives you an idea whether the information you're looking at is in that range or not, and how significant it is when it's in that range of values. Or you can calculate the p-value, and that's got a statistical significance, and you're finding the p-value by chance, okay? And that tells you how likely it is to find that p-value by chance. That's what we will use in our hypothesis testing. Now, the procedure we're going to be using is to start with a null statement and an alternative. What's a null statement? A null statement is simply stating some statistical value that we've got, like saying that the mu, the mean of a population is a certain value. Okay? Now you need to be specific. So if you're talking about a doctor and an experiment, you say the mean of this doctor's experiments will be this. Okay? The alternative would be the opposite. Okay? So if you say it's equal to this, the alternative would be not equal to that. That means it could be at both ends, top and bottom. Okay? The other way of stating that is that the mean of a sum of a number is uh, less than this. Well, then the alternative would be that it would be greater than this, and you can use those type of things. So you have to be very specific in this situation, and I will work some examples when we get into Class Connect and show you what I'm talking about. Okay, and then you need to look at your data and determine what type of test you're going to do. It's at that time that you will set your alpha value. Alpha is that a value that you're going to use for your significance testing to say that we're within this percentage. Okay, that alpha is the one that you're going to be using there. Then you're going to look at it. You're going to use the statistics we've already done to find the area underneath the curve and that you're going to be looking for. Then you're going to reach a conclusion. You're going to be very specific again. You're going to say, based upon this alpha value, you reject the null hypothesis. Or, based upon this, I have no reason to reject the null hypothesis. And once again, specifically stating the results and the um, test that you're doing. You got to be very specific about that, okay? So, it helps if you know how your data is collected and what those values mean so that you can look at it and say, hey, look, if we got this number and it's, we're cutting off at 0.05 and our alpha was 0.05 and we're looking at 0.051 or 0.052 and or 0.049, you know that you can say, well, that's really way too close for us to do much with that. So I don't know that I would have rejected the null in that situation. But you most of the times in the AP test, it's going to be either high or low, and you're not going to have that situation. Okay? You don't ever accept a null hypothesis. What you do is you either reject the null hypothesis or you fail to reject the null hypothesis. You never really accept a null hypothesis. Okay? So that's one of the things you have to start with. Now, one of the things you're going to find out that both methods that you're going to use, either that statistical range, significant range that we're talking about here, this range of values, or the p-value information, are going to give you basically the same information. And you're looking at it going, well, why would I want to do one over the other? If we've got a hypothesis testing, if we don't follow that procedure and state it that way, it doesn't sound right to statisticians. So you have to be very careful with it and make certain that you're stating it in a way that statisticians will agree with you in what you're saying. Once again, I do appreciate you guys letting me know that you're in AP Statistics in any communications. It really helps me answer your questions quicker. I'll see you next